And I know
Excellent.
this will put a smile on everyone's face, but there's the headline from the New York Times: American support for Israel dramatically declines, Times Siena poll find. 56% of registered voters polled disapprove of Trump's handling of what they call the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Another really important number here, 51%, so that's more than half of registered voters, disapprove of sending additional economic and military aid to Israel. I can't overstate how big a sea change that is for those of us who've been watching this over many years. There is a strong partisan divide. 73% of Democrats oppose sending additional economic and military aid to Israel, but 71% of Republicans approve. But just look at that Democrat number.
Mm.
Do you see Democratic Party leaders reflecting that in their policies and their positions and statements? They ought to change the name to the Undemocratic Party, because that's what they are. I've never seen a number like this. They asked, in the dispute between Israel and the Palestinians, which side do you sympathize with more, Israel or the Palestinians? 34% sympathize more with Israel and 35% sympathize more with Palestinians. I have never seen that before. They ask people whether they agree or disagree with these statements. So one statement is Israel should stop its military campaign in order to protect against civilian casualties, even if not all Israeli hostages have been released. 58% of registered voters agreed with that statement, a very clear majority. By 60 to 30, Americans want to see an end to this genocide.
Yeah.
Then they ask, this was incredible, is Israel taking enough precautions to avoid civilian casualties? Only 25% agreed with that. And then, is Israel not taking enough precautions to avoid civilian casualties? 62% agreed with that. So the Israeli propaganda that claims no army does more than we do to protect civilians, nobody's buying it. And then of that 62%, 40% say Israel is deliberately, intentionally targeting civilians, and just 16% say it is unintentional. So the American public understands that Israel is a brutal, sadistic, murderous state that is deliberately targeting civilians. That is an absolute sea change. And I
Yeah.
don't think the stitch up of getting pro-Israel Oracle billionaire Larry Ellison, who is also a big funder of Tony Blair, getting him to buy TikTok is going to turn this around anytime soon.